Hello everyone, welcome back. Now in this tutorial we are kind of not a tutorial, in this discussion, I would rather call it a discussion. I would like to bring up some open points which have been observed throughout the 10 years of my IT career, and I'm not going to hide anything. I'm going to be very open and blunt about what is the roadmap for web methods and how are we going to look at it. So first is web methods the right career choice for any IT to start with? I would partially agree and I partially disagree as well. The reason is because integration, let's keep web methods apart for a certain point of time. Okay, see, integration is such a area where every IT requires it. Okay, every IT requires it. There is once upon a time where you had eGate or a TIBCO as kind of the roaring in the market. Okay, then eventually somewhere down the line in 2001, 3, 4, 5, I don't remember the timelines. Okay, then Dell Boomi also started to pick it up. Dell Boomi, which is a cloud based, started to pick it up. Okay, then while on the same path we started to see the growth of web methods. I'm saying back in 2010 or 11 or even, or I can say 7 and 8, what I've been told by my seniors is that there was an interview question to one of my seniors, like, how do you spell web methods? It's WB capital M. If you knew that, you were almost qualified to get a job. And if you actually knew what is trading network and what is BPM, okay, then just get it confirmed that the job is yours. Because the requirement was like that. Okay, and web methods kind of stayed in the market for a longer time, and even today it's holding very good. Okay, it's very good. Then while on the period of that, then you had Oracle SOA and Oracle Fusion Middleware, then Apache Caf, not Apache Caf, what I'm saying. So then you had many other integration tools, but web methods sticked on for a longer time. Web methods and TIBCO and Dell Boomi, they kind of sticked on for a longer time, and even Oracle as well. And yeah, one more thing, Informatica. These guys were kind of very what do you call, the core products of the integration. Okay, that did its job very good, very good. Okay, and if I have to start my career in integration, I would always choose web methods as a fresher, or even if I have to learn integration, I'd always choose web methods. It's not that because I know web methods I'm telling this, just for information. All the tools that I've written in the screen, I know every one of the tool. I know TIBCO, I worked on it. I worked on TIBCO for 2.5 years. I'm currently working in Dell Boomi and Mulesoft. I worked for web methods for almost 4.5 to 5 years. I have worked in Oracle SOA for a year, Informatica for 6 months. I know what I'm saying because I have a personal experience of each tool, and I'm saying with a lot of confidence, web methods is the most powerful integration tool ever that I've seen so far. Right now the trending integration tool is Mulesoft. Okay, this is something that I would not recommend anyone to start their career, but since this is booming in the market right now, 2021, 22, or starting from 2020, the only reason is, see, this tool was never been asked by any other market. It was like it was like way behind than any of those tools, only because Salesforce back in 2020 they bought Mulesoft, just like how Software AG company bought web methods. In a similar way, Salesforce bought Mulesoft, since this guy had a lot of money and lot of marketing went into this Mulesoft, and now everyone is talking about Mulesoft. That's it. This is an open statement. I can challenge on that. This is all it's happening. Okay, this is all it's happening. But for webMethods, there was no need of a marketing much. Only reason because the tool itself spoke out for you. Okay, especially in webMethods, there's a component called as broker. Ask anybody on the webMethods career. You hardly hear any issue on broker. This guy Mulesoft is still maturing, and it doesn't handle large. It doesn't do large flat handling, large XML handling. The jar file is limited to 50 MB. It's a headache. Okay, and the data transformation, you have that data view, but still it's not much of the options that I see right now to learn as a integration guys. Okay, to learn integration, I would definitely not start my career in Mulesoft. But what is happening right now in the market is that since Salesforce bought Mulesoft, now this is picking up because Salesforce has a lot of money and it has acquired 33% of the market share in terms of CRM. Since 33% of the market is in Salesforce, wherever there is Salesforce, they're pushing Mulesoft. That's it. So SAG doesn't have this much of market. That's the problem. Okay, if tomorrow Google, say I'm just making it up, Google buys webMethods, then forget about Mulesoft. webMethods becomes the #1 platform in the world. So this is how the market trend is there. I mean, like, you can't blame anyone. It's just there. But the point here is that you saw that there was a transition. Once upon a time you had eGate, then once upon a time you had webMethods. Now once upon a time you had Oracle SOA. Once upon a time you have Dell Boomi. Now it's Mulesoft. So as now after 3-4 years, even this becomes a story. Once upon a time you had Mulesoft. See, none of the integration tool will die. Okay, just remember that always. Okay, none of the integration tool will ever die, because even today people are using eGate. Even today we are using webMethods, and just for information, webMethods is still holding its market share very strongly because the tool is like this. See, the webMethods tool is so powerful that even if a customer has to say no to webMethods, like, they have to think a hell lot. It's not the money, it's about the power that the tool has it. I'll tell you the reason behind that later. But webMethods is still doing very good in the market. Mulesoft is doing good. Dell Boomi is partially doing good. Oracle is also partially doing good. eGate and Informatica are doing good. The eGate is also partially doing good. SAP is doing well because it's just like an Apple. It has its own world, so no one kind of bothers to come into it. IIB integrations, IBM tools are doing good. So if you're in webMethods or Mulesoft or IBM products, I think you are kind of in a better world right now at this stage. See, now say for a customer C1, he buys a product called webMethods, and generally anyone who buys a product, they always go for a longer term. Say it's 3 to 5 years ideal time. 3 to 5 years is an ideal time for any product. 3 to 5 years. Now once the code has been developed, then you need to have a production support. Okay, production support. That's the reason what market generally works is that if a new product, say webMethods, if a new product comes up, then every customer will start to buy the product for 3 to 5 years. In the span of 3 to 5 years, the purchasing will happen. Right now, Mulesoft people are buying starting from 2020. People will buy Mulesoft till 2023 or 24 maximum. 2023 or 24 maximum is 2023-24. That's where people will buy Mule. After that, it will stop. It will gradually start to decline. Since the customer has bought the product, now the production support will run for another 3 to 5 years, which means 2029. So the estimated end life cycle of Mule growth is 2029. Okay, not more than that. webMethods is doing very powerful compared to this ratio. Okay, people are still buying webMethods, but not at that extensive rate as what people are purchasing Mule. Okay, but webMethods, they're still buying, but on a lesser rate. Okay, and the legacy customers are still holding good. Okay, which means even in now people are seeing that there are transition happening in web methods. From the learning perspective, as I said, web methods is the right career, Mulesoft is the wrong career. Okay, but in terms of the market growth, Mulesoft is doing much better than web methods, or in the entire integration world, Mule is doing much better than web methods. But in terms of learning, Mule is not good, or any other product is not good at all. So that's an option that I have left it to you right now to decide what do you think it is. I would not suggest whether to go to Mule or web methods, but I would only tell one thing with a lot of confidence: if you have to learn something, start in web methods, not in Mule. Now, as you can see, integration keeps on changing, which means that every now and then you have to keep on changing the tools. Just like how so far in my 9 years I have worked on 6 tools totally. Okay, now it's always a headache to keep on changing the tools. Let's say keep on changing. It's always a pain. It's a misery to keep on changing the tools. Remember that it's a pain. So if you have a career that starts with Java, .NET, full stack developer, full stack developer anyways employs Java and .NET, then web development I would not prefer. I would definitely not prefer web development. PHP, then machine learning, artificial intelligence, okay, AI, then any SAP products, not any, but SAP is still good. Okay, SAP products, then data science, big data, analytics. If you are planning to do any one of this career in IT, please stick on to this. Okay, please stick on to this. Do not come to integration. Okay, please stick on to this. Do not come to integration. Okay, if you have started any of this career, or if you have not at all started your career, then I'd request to look out these options. Okay, this is the best option that you can stick on to it, because see, tools will always have a limitation. For example, web methods, which all companies it might be using: Software AG, Cognizant, TCS, Accenture, or any service-based companies, or IBM. IBM uses even web methods. Then you have Apple uses web methods. So there are many other organizations which uses web methods. Okay, now tools will anyways one day fade away, but these are the core concepts which will never fade away, because for example, web methods is built on this tool, this language. So is even Mulesoft. Okay, so in a similar way, these kind of these technologies will remain forever. You can switch to any companies you want. That's the beauty of it. Those who are working on tools, it's always limited. You can change the organization from with a limited jumps. You cannot hop around with multiple companies. Now if I say Java, I can universally shift anywhere. No one is stopping me, because it's an independent language and it is not dependent on any tool. Tools are built on top of Java. So if you have started your career on this path, then please stick on to it. Okay, please stick on to it. But the problem with this kind of tools is, this kind of language, is that those who have interest to gain business knowledge, so those who have interest, say I want to become an architect, any type of architect, either it can be enterprise or data architect. Okay, or if you want to become if you want to gain domain knowledge, or if you want to gain enterprise level skill set, if you want to become a business analyst, if you want to become a product owner, then please start your career as an integration guy. This is the perfect option to become an integration guy, because I have seen, and I personally have done that myself. Okay, within 2 to 3 years of span you can become an architect. I am not lying, this is a true fact. Whereas those who are working here, they take 15-20 years to become a proper architect. Because when you say architect, see, integration is the only one that gives you a 360-degree view. Because since you're interacting with so many systems every day, you know how to interact with SAP, you know how to interact with EDI, you know how to interact with cloud, you know how to interact with AWS, Azure. Since you're having a 360-degree view, you start to deal with the systems every day in such a way that you yourself become the system, and you talk as if you own the system, and you design as if you own the system. You start providing the solution at a very early age. I started to work with the architects at 2 to 2.5 years of my IT career. Okay, 2 to 2.5 years of my IT career. I started to design at a very early age. I started to write HLD, low-level designs, enterprise level architectural designs at a very early age. And these guys, I know my colleagues and friends who are working in these areas, they're still writing system.out.println and a lot of mathematical computations, integration, permutation, statistics, which is good, because they're happy that they're doing a lot of mathematical knowledge, because they want something else. I wanted to become an architect. I wanted to gain domain knowledge. I wanted to become an enterprise level expert. I wanted to become a business analyst. I want to become a product owner. So I started my career as an integration guy. I have a 360-degree view. So those who want to have a 360-degree view, and those who want to become good in architect or domains or the business analyst, then integration is the right path. So please decide which is the right fit for you. Okay, my first option will be always this. Okay, this is my first option, because this is the best platform you can end up to. This would be my second option. I would always say that before entering into the second, if you want to enter into integration, you have to be very clear that this is what you are going to end up. Okay, but here on the first option, the options are limitless. You can become anything you want, because after 10 years you can still become an architect. Okay, but it will take time. But in integration, it won't take that much of time. You'll become early architect. Okay, that's the beauty of it. I started my career as a Java guy. Okay, I was a Java developer. Then I moved to C++. Okay, then I was a tester. Okay, I was a tester. Then I moved, okay, not as a Java guy. I started my career as a sales guy. Okay, then moved to Java, from non-technical to technical, then tester, from tester to PHP developer, from PHP developer to finally webMethods to SOA, Oracle SOA, from Oracle SOA to back to webMethods and TIBCO, and then finally I ended up in Mulesoft and now in Dell Boomi. So it's a very weird journey. Okay, very odd and weird journey, but that's fine. That's how it has happened. Okay, now with this combination, right now I'm also dealing with and providing the architectural solutions at the, not at the enterprise level, but at the product level, and I'm also a business analyst. So I have achieved one of the goal, which is business analyst, and I am acquiring domain knowledge, and I'm trying to become an architect. So within next 2 to 3 years, I will be achieving 3 of my goals. I'll become an architect, I'll become a domain, I'll become a business analyst. Then the next final option that I have is to become a product owner. So this is within 10 years. I'm saying this is within 10 years. This happens only in integration. Whereas here, number one, it's a pain. This option, you got stuck onto it. Because I still remember while I was writing code in C++ for an entire year, I only worked on one function. That's it. One function which has 25,000 lines of code. I just worked on that. That's it. And all my job was to work on with some pointers, nothing else. Whereas when I came to integration, I was doing much more development than what is required. See, in reality, what happens in reality, what happens in IT world is completely different. I hope you would be aware of it. Now, that's how you are going to look at your IT career. Okay. Now there is a separate class altogether, which is project management. Let me clear it out. There's a separate class altogether, which is project management. Become a Scrum Master. Okay, there are other separate class altogether, which is project manager. Sorry. Come on. Okay. Project manager. Scrum Master. And senior project manager. And things like that. This is a separate division altogether, and that is something that I'm not the right person to fit it to comment on that, because I have no experience on that. Okay, so now you have seen the two perspective. Okay, now why web methods, then the other integration tools? Why web methods? Okay, I'll tell you why. Web methods is the only tool in the market that will actually take you to the core computer science concepts than any other tools. See, we have seen our tutorial so far, right? We have seen what is REST. You take SOAP itself. In the SOAP, it was asking which is the version, 1.1 or 1.2. Then is it RPC encoded, or is it document literal encoded? Now these type of options are given for Mulesoft guys at the architectural certifications. Can you believe it? Mulesoft guys thinks that this is an advanced concept, so it has to be built at architect level, whereas web methods thinks that this is like a basic concept. You should guys know it. Okay, you saw flat files, how we dealt with flat file dictionaries. We saw XSLT, we saw Java coding. See, all these concepts, what we have covered, it gives you a closer and closer view to the real computer science concepts. Those who have started their career in .NET, right, or Java, as we saw right before, and like working in web methods, it gives you a closer look and feel and experience of the real computer science concepts than any other tools. If you work in eGate, if you work in Dell Boomi, it is just full of drag and drop configurations. It'll be just boggling your head, like what's happening. If you work on Mulesoft, majority of them you don't even know what you're doing. Okay, it is just again dragging and dropping, lot of connectors and lot of data transformations. Apart from that, there is no brain work for the real computer science concepts at all. Web methods is the only tool available in the market that will teach you to the core computer science concepts like any other tool. Again, I'm telling you because of an experience that I have in all the other remaining tools, and I've seen majority of the guys right now this is what's new right now. Those who are working in web methods, they are making a transition in Mulesoft. I'm seeing this. Okay, and as far as I know, majority of the Mulesoft developers of what I have know in the market are majority are from web methods, and I'm one among them. This is what the transition is happening right now. Okay, now, and I also see the transitions from eGate and TIBCO. I see the transitions to here, and I also see transitions from Oracle SOA to here. But if I take IBM product, IBM, this is very less. A lot of people are not going to here, but web methods people are going, Oracle people are going, TIBCO people are moving. Okay, and those who have worked on web methods in Mule, they're doing extremely good. Within a day, not within a day, that's wrong. Within a span of 3 to 4 months, they have gained Mulesoft as if they've worked for 5 to 6 years. I've seen web methods folks who have made a transition from web methods to Mulesoft and have done excellently well. Even it has surprised Mulesoft experienced folks. Okay, there's one of my senior who believed that I had worked on Mulesoft for more than 6 years. I told them no, it's been just 4 months I've worked on Mule. It was taken to him by surprise. He was like, how is this possible? I said that, you know what, I come from a very powerful tool called web methods. Compared to web methods, Mule is nothing. Since I know web methods very well, Mule is just a cakewalk to me. That's what I said to him. Not because of arrogance or ego. It's only because of the confidence that I had working webMethods. webMethods gives you huge confidence that no other tool gives it. Because it will teach you how to configure, it will teach you how to install, it will teach you how to understand the computer science concepts. If you're configuring SFTP, if you're configuring target namespace, if you're working on target namespace, if you're working on WSDL document, it teaches you everything. Since it taught me everything, making a transition to Mule was a cakewalk to me. As like many other tools, many other engineers have transitioned from webMethods to Mulesoft. Okay, so now I would still recommend, if you want to come to an integration, start your career in webMethods. Do not go to any other tools. Once you gain the confidence of webMethods in webMethods, once you have explored everything on webMethods, then choice is yours. But if you have decided not to come to integration at all, and that's also good, because you have other path to take care of. Now if you do not want both the path, then you always have the MBA and the other paths that you can take into. Okay, so now you have heard this story. Now you know what I'm saying. The decision is left up to you. Integration, if you have decided, please come to webMethods. Non-integration, you can pick anything you want. But I would still say go to non-integration first, because that's where all the hotcakes are happening. Integration, if you have decided, then start with webMethods, and then after 2 to 3 years gain the experience and move to somewhere else. I hope I would have answered the question why webMethods than the other tools. Okay, because it's closer to the concept. It is really closer to the concepts of computer science, because you yourself have witnessed how we have worked it out. It is very closer to the computer science concepts, and no other tool teaches you that. Okay, cool. Now yeah, that's it for this video, and finally we are going to look at how to work in webMethods. Okay, and yeah, see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.